What's up, guys, and good morning. Oh man, so I've got a new color that I'm working on in my life, lime green. They say lime is a manifestation color. They say it's the color of excitement and vibrancy. And I have to say that this is a color that I've really struggled with and not had very much of in my life. It's a spectrum, in my opinion, color therapy and chakras. What do colors mean? Is there a universal meaning behind colors? I think there is, that all human beings understand just by like looking at the color, being in the color, okay? I think it's a color of excitement and newness, freshness, like actual limes. It's a refreshing, energy, but it's also stimulating. It's a citrus. There's a stimulation to it, but then there's a rejuvenation to it. So, in the chakras, I think like the heart chakra is kind of like maybe here, typical green. I think that the throat chakra is like here, the heart, okay, this deep kind of green. And then I think that the solar plexus is like here. And then I think lime is like right here, kind of like on your, nipple line, like right here. So, imagining that there are actual like energy lines and energy centers in your body. So this whole experience for me and why I'm vlogging and making the video is it's been about me manifesting my dream life. And it's in the most energetic sense, it's like wanting to like actually love my life and like love myself, but like not actually doing that, loving my job or career or businesses, obsessed with this grind, but are we even enjoying ourselves? And so, not really. So I actually took some notes, like I'm actually journaling and just like writing down my thoughts. It's dawn. It's like we obsess about all these tasks that we need to do. I gotta renew my passport. I gotta get a PO box set up. I gotta get a new driver's license. I gotta renew the registration on my vehicle. Just menial tasks. But am I truly loving myself? So I felt inspired to like actually write this down with my hand. I don't know, there's just a more personal connection when it's your hand, right? Rather than just typing it or notes. I want to stay in this vibration of self-love. I want to have more of this lime. I want to be full of this lime, right? In abundance of this color, right? Like, I don't know, I've looked at chakras as like individual things that you shift in and out of, but lime is like a fusion of yellow and green. So it really is like a fusion of the mind and the heart. If you just are into like chakras and energy healing and energy work, like, as one unified energy, heart and mind unified as one, and then symbolizing this color lime, yellow and green at the same time, both. Okay, that's difficult for me. I can conceptualize either and I can switch into either, but then to have them unified as one, I don't know, feels difficult for me. That's why it's a challenge. That's why I'm doing this. To have your business and your dream life as this one in the same, manifesting it at the same time together. That's a pretty amazing thing, right? And how many people do we actually know have a dream life? Not that many. So, all the times where love and trust were broken, invaded, and compromised, I wrote that down because when I was younger, my dad Like, I dropped out of college and my parents were helping me with my apartment, so it was co-signed, and they basically like broke into my apartment and then went through all my shit, my journal and everything. Invasion of privacy. That happened also when I was in middle school. They found a way to, like, all the AOL instant messengers could get saved to a folder, and I didn't know that, right? And they had read every single one of my AOL instant, it just like there was such an invasive like dominance in my childhood, and that's what really kills this energy, invasive dominance. And so it's like I find myself like I have the ability to just dominate myself, be very productive and do all the things, but you know I've been very imbalanced in my life. And even though I'm a very spiritual guy, like I'm still having to figure this out. This I'm looking for this perfect balance of my heart, of my masculine and feminine energy, of my work and my, purpose, of my bliss and my success. It's so fucking hard to balance that out, right, guys? Anyway, so loving myself is like loving my mind, and the dream life is like the supremacy or the ascension, right? It's the biggest manifestation of both of that together, realizing the goal and the dream and the love, and like, damn, it's hard. So I wrote down like attraction fields, right? Because in spirituality they oftentimes say try to manifest with your heart and your mind aligned together in one unified field. That's been difficult for me because I look at the things that attracting, right? Like an audience, like my school group. I look at it as influence or an investment of your energy. I look at it as also like your spiritual love, like trying to like service. I look at it as companionship, your friends that you check in with that want to even be in your life or in your group. But I also look at it as standards, and excellence, an agreement. So I look at relationships as like also as all of those things, investments of your time, agreements. I cut some people out of my group. I didn't remove them, but I left their group, so they left my group, just a few people. But I could tell that there was like a violent emotional, like it really upset them or like bothered them. But I did that because I retouched them, I messaged them, and I just said, hey, just checking in with you, like what's been going on in business? Are there any developments? And, one guy just flat out told me like, this is just not a priority at the moment, and it bothered me to such a high level of like, when we all initially launched our school groups, like what, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, like there was this excitement, we want to make this dream come true, right? We were all in that vibration of like manifesting our dream life, but the frustration is that you're not doing. I have analyzed or judged or observed or came to the conclusion that you are not actually doing anything to make your dream come true, and like most people aren't. And so that's why it's like very difficult to balance like a spiritual love for people. But then like if their day-to-day actions are not in alignment with that, like I want lime green. I want people who are lime green, and that's symbolic of like manifesting my dream life. Building this dream that I can love. It's not just productivity and excellent. Like there are plenty of just like business people or professionals who are like, wake up, do the meditations, go to the, check all the boxes, go to the gym. But like, then you're also looking at their soul. Like if you're dating someone, like I have these beautiful friends that are on TikTok, and like, I think we could be compatible, like physically, I think they're attractive, but then what about their, motivation, or they have none. They just work this like streaming job, I don't know. So it's like you're kind of dating both. You're dating their soul and their mind. You're dating their heart and their mind. Guys and girls, we all have souls. We all have minds, So it's like, am I attracted to the total, version of you, or just the enhanced, version of you? And that's difficult as well. Like, am I really attracted to who they really are, or are they just putting up a front or like showing us who they want us to see? But behind the scenes, deep down, maybe they're just like miserable or suffering or just like totally fucking irresponsible. And that's a turnoff, right? Because you kind of want both. Like, I want like a woman who can also like, I won't slip. My standards won't fall. Like, it's not a decline. And so those are red flags because I was a red flag, right? Like, I had no motivation. I was very depressed and suffering. So, anyways, I only wrote like 2 pages of notes, but we're trying to have that soul alignment. So we have these goals: moving to Asia with a certain amount in the bank, being debt free, having consistent clientele in increasing amounts, having increasing followers on social media and like, members in my community. Those are all the things that we want, like I want in my mind. But then the emotions, emotions are even more powerful to me. So like, I am probably in my feminine more than my masculine these days. The whole reason why I'm doing this, feeling a reason, a why, and an inspiration and an alignment, that's in the feminine, that's in your emotions. So I wrote gratitude, zen, peace, but mostly excitement. Like, I just haven't had like a whole lot of things to be excited about. And so, what gives you excitement? Money, travel, newness, shopping, games, fun, social things, friendship, newness, inspiration in speaking. All those things bring me excitement. So anyways, like, I'm in meditation, right? And I'm kind of like getting downloads or like like meditation to me is like receiving inspiration and also just like stabilizing and purifying yourself. Like, I sit with my mind and it's like I'm processing my emotions, I'm getting clarity, so it's like I wrote, like, you have the discipline machine like more or less perfected, waking up, do the things, workout, calories, nutrition, everything, right? But the heart is lacking excitement and joy. And that's honestly the truth. My heart has been lacking excitement and joy. I haven't been enjoying the process of I'm like furiously wanting to move forward to the next thing, to the next goal, but I'm not allowing myself to enjoy the ride, Life is just frustratingly trying to go to the next level. And anyways, I haven't been allowing enough of my feminine to feel excitement and joy. So anyways, like, I'll probably get a green phone case, or like some green clothes or accessories. When I'm working with a new color, I try to embody the color. So I may get a hat, phone case. I have the sheet set, or like a hoodie, or like a, bracelet or something. Like, it's just a visual anchor to like tuning into this color. Like, do you need the things? No, but I like shopping and I like having a lot of accessories. I've never had a lime green phone case. I did have a few lime green hats, but it's been a while since I've really used this energy. The last time I used this energy was in Houston, and I did manifest my first business. So I don't know, maybe it is a powerful color for manifestation. Okay, and then anyways, in the second half of this video, I want to talk about suffering. The lack of this. I've spent most of my childhood and young adult life not having this color, not having this energy. Like, the total opposite or depletion is like just suffering, man. It's a deadening feeling. It's numbing. It's depression. It's apathy. It's like feeling no connection to anything. So we don't have to talk about that too much, but you got to move out. You got to move out of that environment and you got to move into a new environment. Like, I kind of feel that way about Austin. I feel that way about my family. I feel that way about my childhood. You got to move out of that and you got to move into a new environment. So I definitely plan on moving to Vietnam. and that's what I'm manifesting. And then probably China, honestly. I want to spend some time in China. I want to become fluent in Chinese. I want to It's ancestral, It's like in your DNA. So that is the homeland of like my feminine, half. The other half is like English, something, Scottish, English, German, some kind of European. So I may spend some time there as well in the future. But you got to move out of that depression. You got to move into a new home. So visualize, like actually visualize in your mind if you're suffering, like visualize move out, like actually move in your mind into a new environment, into a new home, a home that you would love. So anyways, the CTA. So I am like craving this energy and like people that have this energy. And the only people that come to mind are like social media influencers, content creators, travel vloggers. I don't know that many people top of mind that have this energy, this excitement, and not just the energy, but like they're actually going for it, like building a dream life. Right? So I think it's travel vloggers. So how do I have more of this energy? In conclusion, is you give it away. You give it to others. When you give the energy away, you're creating a bigger wave of the energy. It's like a spiral. It's like a fractal, right? So first you give it to yourself. I saturate myself in this color. I meditate on it. I try to channel it. I try to embody it. And then you gotta just give it away. You give it through your content, you give it to your community. I changed the colors to lime green in my community. Super Saiyan sales is just kind of gimmicky, and plus there may be legal copywriting issues with Super Saiyan, down the road. So dream life and elite sales. Well, elite sales is how we manifest our dream life, part of it financially and the mechanical things, the masculine, energy. But dream life is about tuning in to excitement and newness. That's why I like to watch travel vlogs. Like, there's nothing more exciting and new going to a place you've never been before, and then having the means to like have some fun, and that requires money. So, we have to have money if we want to go shopping and travel. So sales is a manifestation of your dream. It's all just love, in meditation. That's what I kept hearing. Like, all of this is just a form of love. If you wake up early and go and meditate and go to the gym, that's all a form of love. If you're eating healthy and nutritionally perfect and dieting and like everything's perfect, that's a form of love. I've been operating in discipline, but kind of like without love. Like I haven't really had much of love in my entire life. Just haven't been shown a whole lot. It was very bipolar. It was like moments of kindness and love in my childhood, but for the most part, kind of just the depraved, domineering energy of my childhood. It's not to tarnish my parents, but God, it was not a happy home. You guys were fighting all the time, so hateful, screaming at each other. This is early childhood. This is me. The earliest memories I have were like terrified, cops being called to the house, domestic violence, just, man, such an intense amount of hate. Hate causes depression and apathy because once that angry, energy is removed, it just creates this scar, this nasty, ugly, miserable, kind of like, like removed from the socket, and it's just all fucked. Like the land is like scorched and just, yeah. It's hatred. And why did you guys hate each other? Why did you hate me? Why did you hate yourself? What's that psychotic rift that's going on in your subconscious mind? Like, why do you act like that? Why is that your operating system? Because they don't love their life. They settled on a life and they feel miserable and powerless. And so they're very angry about it. And instead of actually like learn healing techniques and prioritize, faith and meditation and healing and responsibility, They just settled and they just watched like TV and then like yelled at each other, you know? There was no like growth. Honestly, it's like life sucks and I hate this job. So I'm venting. It's very immature, you know? Very immature, like no mindfulness, reading books, positive content, you know, faith, love. I mean, I don't know. My dad joined a men's group from like a church. That was honestly probably the best thing he could have done. You know, I don't know. My mom would watch like Joel Osteen videos. Can't say they did nothing about it, but you know, if you have children, especially young children, you should try to be extremely mindful of the emotional environment, like chaotic, hate, screaming, you know, and then attacks. It kills the spirit of love. And so I have attacked some people in my school community, but let's talk about the healthy side of masculinity and having standards. You know, if you've given up on your dream and it's not a priority, then like I will remove you from my life. It is a form of self-love and self-respect. The masculine version of self-love and is self-respect. And like, dude, if you've fallen off and you have no motivation in life, like I will try to give love to everybody in some like manageable, appropriate amount. It has to be allocated, you know, it has to be, you know, carefully scrutinized. Because if you give all your love away to people who are just like failing and miserable and depressed, then you're going to become them and they're going to become you. So why would I give away all of my momentum, you know, to somebody who, you know, do they deserve it? So unfortunately in the masculine, like we have to make evaluations and we have to make judgments. Is this person deserving of a raise? Is this person deserving of my money and time? You have to look at your time and your energy as money. It's a currency, you know? So why would I pay them for doing a shitty job? I wouldn't. You know, you're fired, dude. I'm going to find someone else. So, you know, I'm not going to name names, but one guy, you know, just like he doesn't want to launch a high ticket thing. Like, so all he's doing is just like building a community but of support, but there's no actual like growth. There's no like static jump. Like, how are you going to manifest your dream life? It's not a priority. I just don't want to think about it right now. I think he's suffering a lot. And it's like, you know, dude, it's just annoying me. It's just annoying. Like, I need to see a certain amount of passion and like desire in life. I have so much of it and I've developed it and I've cultivated it. So, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you feel no motivation, you feel nothing. I don't know what to say, man. You got to plug into like inspiration, and I would recommend you meditate. You know, it comes from God first. It's like you don't need motivation, man. You need to like find self-love. So self-love is the origin point. Like, can you have motivation without self-love? Like, yeah, of course. But, you know, I don't know. I feel like our soul is always looking for completion and like balancing and restoration. Like our soul craves transcendence, you know. I think it's placed in us as human beings, just like animals go into like mating and like there's these biological triggers that cause them to change and do things, you know. Hormones just like take over your body. Well, I think God is like always whispering in our soul and our heart, like to find, you know, just like seek me, you know. God wants a relationship with us. Our soul wants a relationship with us. It's always kind of whispering out, but how many times do we block out the message and ignore it and drown it out? So, you know, this has been a self-love journey for me to manifest my dream life. Like you got to work hard, right? And like I'm willing to bust my ass. Like I will push it to the fucking limit, you know. But then to not have the soul up, like my drive takes me to this color. Like my motivation gives me the downloads, and I think this is what society is wanting right now. I think maybe it changes, and that would be called a trend. I think there are trends. I think people want to love life and they want that excitement, you know, and so that's why we go on social media. But then like seeing myself as like a creator, like it is a form of self-love, like the content that you make. And then like, so like I'm following these social media marketing agencies, like they're showing you all the tactical things. Like you can only be sitting or standing or moving, right? So like first, I may actually start a social media marketing agency as a pillar to like my core coaching. Like I do all of it: spiritual, life, motivation, mindset, performance, even some fitness, even some nutrition, and now social media marketing. Like I can do all of these things if we ever work together. Like they're all important things. Like I'm kind of more of a life coach, if I'm totally honest, that is just also very good at business, you know? So I don't know. Like I'm realizing I am actually more of a life coach, by default. But I've been thinking, well, the business is what's valuable. Actually, it's the excitement is what's valuable. That's what the world values. They want to feel good, man. And even them watching your video, they are paying you with their time. So I think people are wanting to buy lime green. So pay attention to what I'm doing because I think I'm picking up on social trends. But like the performance and the business and the masculine, the red, the grind, like that's fine and all, but and that's nice. And like, yeah, I probably should be more on top of my shit and motivated and hitting my numbers, but without the excitement and the feeling of love, it all just feels kind of meaningless, you know? I think just the world has a lot of the air taken out of its sails right now. And, we're hoping for a friend who invites us to do something really fun and new and different, or just having the money to go on a, shopping spree or go travel. Like if you just had 10K manifest in the bank, maybe 20K if you want to like actually move countries, but just have that number. I can go shopping, I can take a month off, like I can afford to do these things. Like that's a form of love to me, and excitement and freedom. So anyways, guys, I'm on this lime green. In my videos, I'm just directly sending you the energy in my YouTube videos. In my Instagram, I am going to actually try. I don't know, like it's like all the blocks of your self-worth come out on Instagram. Like I'm not interesting. I don't have an interesting life. I don't have this exotic, paradise beauty. I would like to, and I'm manifesting that, but so you can only change like the background. It's either stationary or moving. Moving is like I'm actually walking around while I'm recording, or like recording my body moving like a calisthenic workout, like burpees or CrossFit or whatever. So you can only be moving your body or stationary. If you're stationary, you can only be sitting or standing or like laying down, right? Okay, and then the background, well, I mean, it's been this image, and I like that image, but, I could even sit here, that would be a different background. This is just a calendar wall. That's a very boring wall, and then this is just my TV and I mean, even that. So, like, the four corners of your room are the only real backgrounds. Right? So this is my vlogging. I love that, window, but okay. So I may actually zoom out and capture that entire wall. So social media marketing is like, it's two things. It's like, it's literally the love that we have for life and content, which is why we do it. And that's what is so like energetically blocked in human beings. But then tactically, it's just like, dude, it's just like four walls. Like, pick which wall is going to be your background. I can go out to the pool. My apartment has like 3 different pools. I can film at the pool. I can film at the gym. Okay. And then it would be like in my vehicle, or then walking around in public. So I don't know, just to make things, you just want to make things different and have a variety. You're trying to manufacture virality, but, these are called visual hooks. So it's motion, like sitting down. Like, my kitchen is like beautiful. I should be using my kitchen more. I wanted to manifest an apartment that had a really nice kitchen, and I did, and I still don't even film it because I just haven't been loving my life, I manifested a luxury apartment and I still don't even love it. The bathroom is like nice, granite marble tops, 2 sinks, you know. So I should probably record content in my bathroom, which means I should clean my bathroom. Should record content in my kitchen. My living room is like boring and I'm getting ready to move countries, so it's becoming like getting everything ready to move out in 2 months. That's kind of scary. Oh my God, can I really do it? I think I can do it. I think I'm figuring out what society wants, and I think it is this lime green color that is the attraction funnel. That's the top. So you also have, this is social media marketing. You have top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Top of funnel is just like the content that pulls people in. And so I think lime green is the top and middle funnel of what society wants. So you can use those colors and talk and channel that energy. But bottom of funnel is like, if you work with me one-on-one, like maybe they also want that energy. Maybe it's all three at the same time. And the bottom of funnel. Bottom of funnel is like, why would they schedule a call and like consider hiring you? You know, one lady, like, she said she wanted to launch her Instagram, but everything that I'm saying in this video is like, all of it is the same vibration. It's like, it's not about having a bunch of followers. Like, that's nice. But once you have the followers, like, you can increase your price. So it's about having a love for life and attracting people to your life and to yourself and to your content. Like, we all want to like manufacture this virality and just have the number, but the number without the feeling of connection, without the community, and the community on IG is in your comments and DMs. You know, the community on school is your school group. You know, the community in your real life is like people that you actually entertain, talk to, and actually see, you know, from time to time. So we're trying to pull them to this attraction funnel, but you know, what are we attracted to? What are all your attractive features about yourself? So, you know, having an excitement and a love for life and manifesting a dream life, like nothing to me is more exciting than that. Traveling and moving countries and having this adventure, like that to me is the most exciting things. Like that's why I wanted to manifest this in my life. Like I had a business. I'm not that crazy about Austin, you know. The mindset here is just very limited, you know, very corporate, very employee mindset. That's just not me. This is not me. So I got to get out of here. But, and I get bored like every few years of everywhere I live. So, you know, I'll probably get bored of Asia and then I want to go to Europe and I'll probably get bored of Europe. And then I'll be like, where else should I go? You know, South America or Australia or maybe even Africa. I have no idea. Or India. Like, you know, so an excitement for life. I'm just giving this energy away. I'm just radiating it because if you want to increase the energy and the vibration of something that you don't have and you want more of it, then you got to just like give it away. It's a mirror. You give it away, it comes back in a wave. So the reason why I have so much discipline and motivation is because I've given so much of that energy away. You know, yeah, wake up early, meditate, go work out, diet's perfect, okay, and then working all day long, hit the numbers. Yeah, that's the perfection of discipline, and that's all you got to do, but it is extremely hard to do that. I want the perfection of excitement, you know, what a bizarre thing to say, but I want the perfection of an exciting life. I do. I want that. That's why I'm doing all of this, why I did all of this. That's why I went into coaching. Like, coaching and content is about capturing the excitement of life, you know, and then manifesting that. So maybe I should go into manifestation, dream life, and social media marketing, but, you know, I can also teach you how to run the numbers. So I don't know. I don't think you have to pick one thing. Like, I think you should identify like 2 colors, one masculine, one feminine. So my masculine color is like a maroon. Maroon just like pulls it in with such a fucking intensity that, you know, is the undeniable magnet of like business. Just fucking pulls it in, man. That's how I'm able to charge like sky high prices and people pay it because I just pull it in with my magnet, with my magnetic power. But in the feminine, I'm choosing lime green. I like pink and I like green and I like orange. I like all the feminine colors, orange and blues, and the chakras. They say these are feminine colors. I like all of them, but lime green is what the universe is telling me that I have been missing, and not just me, like the whole world. And I think that is what's in demand right now. So I don't know. You catch me saying weird things. I think lime green is the trending color in the feminine. I think in the masculine, you just have to decide, like, do I want to have more influence and fun? Then maybe that's like a bright blue. Do I want to have more confidence? Then maybe that's like a yellow or gold. Do I want to have a lot of money and material success? Then that's red or maroon. So you pick which masculine flame you want, and then you pick which feminine flame you want. If it's pink, it's like light and feminine, and like, you know, that's the color of pink to me. The color of orange is like a wellness, holistic, maybe a fitness, a nice movement, nice, sacral energy. Green is like love, enlightenment, zen to me. They say that the heart is the most powerful chakra, the heart has the most powerful, greatest like electromagnetic field, like it has like an EMF field. So I think the heart is the most powerful feminine chakra. And you could talk about the third eye, the blue, the clarity, the downloads, the transcendence, this kind of cosmic feeling. That's nice too every once in a while, but we gotta go back to reality and make this relatable, because we're trying to build social media. So I think you choose, like, which colors do I want to work with? Which people do I want to work with? What do I want to attract in my life? Like, yeah, I want that lime green. I want to have an exciting, fun, interesting, and lime has a bit of yellow, has a zest, has a funness, excitement, So lime is a little bit more masculine, I think, than like this deep green that I'm wearing. But lime, to me, the difference to me is that lime captures the excitement and the energy and the buzz. It's a more active energy, right? Like, yeah, it's moving forward. It's, we got things to do, we got places to be, but we're going to also have a great time doing it. A smile on your face. God, I haven't been smiling enough. I don't have enough reasons to smile. So how do we manifest more reasons to smile? Then use the color, buy a lime green phone case or hoodie or sheet set or blanket or shirts, or a bracelet or a phone case or something, or a purse or something, handbag, backpack. More lime green. I go through random color binges. So we're gonna lime green now, color binge. I was using pink as my feminine, and like, I like pink, but lime is, I believe lime is what's trending. Because you have to have an energy too. You have to have an enthusiasm and an energy too. Like, you're trying to get sales, you're trying to make money from the social media business. It's also a business, so maybe I'd rather have the energy of lime green than pink, because pink, I don't know. Pink can be nice, but pink is like the stay-at-home wife in like hot like yoga outfit. You know what I mean? Like driving a Porsche. Like, she's hot, she's rich, but she doesn't have to do very much. Like, I love pink, but I think for social media success and coaching and money and clients, like, we want to have more of that activation, lime, manifestation. Well, it requires energy and activity, right? So I have to get busy. So I like lime because it's more energizing to me, more stimulating to me. All right, guys, that's my video. I'll probably go work out, but I'm programming more of this energy in my life. I'm programming, like, I wake up at 6, I meditate, right? I do all the fucking things. Like, yes, in my masculine, it's like I could go on social media and like build connections with people, but I'm like, how do I radiate more of this energy? So then every single person, every single comment that you leave, try to channel the color of the energy that you want to increase in your life. You channel that color. So when I'm commenting in lime green, the first thing that comes to mind is like travel content and like travel vloggers. How do we make money from that? Well, I don't know. Like, that's what I would want to connect with. But then, like, how is that productive for business? You know, people that want to make travel content and be like digital nomads, like, how do you turn that into money and fund that? I don't know. But, some of the things that we should do should be for inspiration and excitement, like selling coaching. Yeah, I can do a million fucking things like business or social things or life healing things or motivate. I feel like a lot of people are just stuck and they have no motivation. And it's like, dude, like, you got to find a reason, And so sometimes you need energy, but then sometimes you need like permission to like fail and heal, and like give yourself permission to like figure out who you are. I think that half of the people that I attract are on like a healing kind of journey. I was on a healing journey for a very long. I'm still on a healing journey. The other half, like, they want to activate, they want to grind, they want to prioritize, but they're just not feeling that energy. It's a momentum, like, right? Like, I have built so much momentum over my entire life that's why it's easy for me. Momentum is like a savings account. So even if you're not feeling that motivated, like, I can always draw upon my habits and my past momentum. All you have to do is just execute the program. You'll start feeling more of that energy if you can wake up at the correct time. In my opinion, it always starts with the time that you wake up. When I wake up at 6 and I meditate, I will immediately go back into my habit of high performance, because you're also on that vibration with everybody else who wakes up at that time. Like, 6 a.m. is when like winners wake up. Some of them even earlier, but to me 6 is the ideal number, because it does not make much sense to me to go to bed at like 8 or 9 p.m. Like, that to me is like weird. So 6 to me is the earliest, but to me is the correct time. So it always starts with when you wake up, like, and then, what the first thing I do is meditate. I give, God like my morning, but I'm also aligning with my soul. Sometimes we want a personal connection, we just want someone to talk to. We're feeling lonely. So coaching is like all of these things. It's a friend, it's support, it's inspiration, it's healing, it's discipline, it's everything, right? It's everything that I have and everything that I can give. And then I offer that in a one-on-one relationship to charge money, because I need the money to manifest my dream life. It's a requirement. So maybe you want to have the same kind of, monetary business. So it's equal parts. It's discipline. You have to hit the numbers. You have to do the things. You have to rep it out. You need energy, and you need focus, and you need, just energy to do it. That's what pulls in money. But what attracts people is, we think it's virality, top of funnel viral content, but it's refreshing, light, exciting that we connect to, and it's also valuable and useful. So that's what, makes trending content. That's not just like silly or entertaining. So, it has to be useful. So what's useful to my audience? Like, I'm just delivering the energy directly to you. I'm just giving you the energy, funneling it to you through my video. So if you watch this entire video, it's like, I think the people in my school community that would watch this to the end, like, you got to get right with God and your soul, and you have to actually prioritize like meditation, prayer, journaling, scripture, gratitude. You actually have to schedule it in, because you're just not doing that. So God doesn't respect you. It's like, you have the solution, you're just not doing it. Why? Because you're stuck on suffering, and you're just reinforcing this suffering habit. So it's like, God will give us healing and God will give us success. What does he require from us? He requires change. Change comes from a decision and an action. I had to actually get up. I had to actually meditate. I had to actually journal and write down how I was feeling and my thoughts. I had to actually make the video and record myself making content. And then I have to do lead generation and build relationships and talk to people to grow my business, You just have to, bro. But you're suffering and it's not fun and exciting and inspiring, and it feels even more depressing to like exercise and work. Okay, there's not a whole lot I can say to you at this point. If you can't even get yourself to exercise and like want to actually work, then what you want is soul cleansing. You want to rejuvenate your soul. When the soul is rejuvenated, then working and motivation, all these masculine things, getting busy, going, working out, doing things, getting, task execution becomes easier, and we want to do it in our masculine. There's a dopamine response. We get dopamine from doing things, but if that dopamine response is kind of blocked right now, then it's kind of like a serotonin, oxytocin kind of chemical pathway. But that pathway is, find the things that, honest to God, give you excitement. Let excitement be your job. If that's the only thing you need to focus on right now, more excitement and healing and excitement. We don't allow ourselves to feel healing and excitement. It's like we don't even allow ourselves to have fun and joy, doing fun things. So then I want you to tell me, what are the 3 things that give me the most excitement in my life right now? If it's video games and watching travel vlogs, and shopping, then do that. And if you can't afford the shopping, then just put it in a wish list, pretend that you can afford it, travel content, traveling, shopping, and then like video games, I would say beautiful women as well. Those are the 4 things that probably are the most fun and exciting to me. And then like having friends that you could do that stuff with, play games with, travel with, go shopping with, and they're beautiful. Like, yeah, that would be pretty much like a dream life for me. I just want to hang out with all my wives that are like, TikTok models. And we're going shopping in my fucking supercars. That's a pretty awesome dream life. On a lime green Lamborghini SUV. I feel like $1 trillion, going on a shopping day, spa day, fun day. That's my bliss. That's my zen. That's my lime. That's what I'm manifesting. I got a vehicle full of beautiful women that I love, and we're in my ballin' ass. We'll make it a lime green, a Lamborghini Urus, and then we're going shopping. That's what I'm manifesting, guys, in this video. I also just like to play video games sometimes. That is a form of bliss, but at which point does bliss end and we have to get back to work, That's defined by you and your soul, or a coach can help you with that. Like, you got to balance out. All fun all the time eventually can become depressing, which means sometimes joy and meaning is found in the work. So, I'm having a bit of a struggle balancing out just like this grind. Like, I'm trying to hold on to this vibration and like give it to people, but I'm finding that I have a limited amount of this energy. I'm trying to increase the amount of this energy that I even have, and then you feel like the burnout and the deadening energy of the world, because most of the world is not like in a blissful, just fucking loving life, excited, big smile all the time. Like, most of the world does not have that. So, you're giving that away, and then you're exchanging, and you feel like the lack. But that's why they follow you, and that's why they hire you, and that's why they join you. So, you got to allow yourself to regenerate it. Write down all the things write it down legitimately with your hand, like actually write it on paper. Like, what gives me the most excitement in my life? What gives me that feeling, that dream life feeling? I'm traveling, I'm shopping, I'm making viral content. Everybody loves me and my life is fucking easy and amazing and wonderful. And I barely even have to work that much because people are supporting me energetically, right? But with the views and with the money and the digital products and the coaching and and everything. So I have this dream life now. What did it take to manifest that? Well, you had to give it away. You have to give them the support and the excitement that you want them to pay you with, right? It's a mirror. It just goes back and forth. So I've got to give you all of my love and excitement and joy and bliss You know, you're making these deposits, and then eventually the deposits will return dividends on you in terms of money from, you know, content and coaching and digital products. You know, love to be a speaker and get paid to just talk, like for my vlogs. I love to talk and speak, you know, so you got to give them that excitement that you want them to have when you're going to go up on stage, or when you're going to go up for the speech or to talk, right? How do you want them to feel? I want them to feel like totally excited and like spellbound by my content and by me speaking. Well, then you've got to give them that exciting, spellbinding feeling, right? So it's just opposite. Like, what you give to others in this world is going to come back to you. So are we just giving criticisms all the time? You know, sometimes you do have to have some criticisms and judgments in your masculine flame of self-respect. Do they have a standard that I admire? In the masculine, it's about admiring and respecting somebody. What do I respect about you? Well, you respect like excellent habits. Dude wakes up at 6, he's consistent as fuck. He meditates, he goes to the gym, he works out, you know, he does his very best every day, puts everything that he has into his content, you know, gives everything he has away, you know, like, you know, that's a winner. Like, works relentlessly hard, you know, commands a high price in life. You can respect that, right? You can respect that about a man. Okay, and then in the feminine, you know, loves life, is just so fun and interesting, always doing fun, awesome, amazing, cool, interesting things. That's the life that I want, guys. So we have to focus on that. That makes me smile because that's what gives me joy. So we got to focus on that joy. All right, guys, much love. Hope you have an amazing day today. Yeah, I'm kind of changing the energy of my group. I'm giving it a facelift. I'm getting it a bit of a lift. You know, I think this is my social media strategy. So we'll experiment with just different walls. And then maybe some of the videos you're moving around, like actually walking around, different backgrounds. And then you know what I mean? It's just camera angles, like zooming in, zooming out, panning left and right, you know, going in, going out, you know, clipping it, and then just adding like text and taking the text away. It's not that complicated. It just, all of it feels overwhelming. So you only need to focus on one thing at a time. First thing you focus on is backgrounds. This is my calendar wall, all my goals. This is just my bathroom wall. I love that wall the most. And then I have 2 calendars, one on the month and one on the year. And then my TV wall and my calendar wall. So I don't know, maybe I'll make a video standing in front of my calendar, you know? Yeah, I don't really write too much down on the yearly. I'm kind of more like focusing on like my trends of energy over the year. It's like a flowing, all the words, belief, you know. So I write these, I sleep on this. This is my headboard, right? This is my time. Time is all we have. And then like sometimes I'll write down the amount of lead generation I'm doing, but this excitement feeling is actually more important than the business grind and the lead generation. Like, yeah, of course I can help you with that, the motivation, but I think it always starts with our inspiration, and that word is now changing to excitement to me. Inspiration/excitement, okay? That is the gold, the treasure, the wealth of our soul. Inspired excitement. And then yes, run the fucking numbers and get your ass busy and stop being such a bum, okay? Otherwise I'm gonna have to cut you out of my life. I can't hang out with bums who just aren't doing anything, going for it, man. You're suffering, I'm sorry, but are you willing to change? No, I'm just not, it's not a focus for me right now. The moment he said that to me, I was like, we're done. That's not a focus. You are not a priority. What you're doing is not a priority, right? He blocked out my energy, so I removed him from my life and I left his group. Another guy, look, man, like he's retired and like thanks for supporting me, but your energy to me has been feeling very low and just like you got nothing to do. That's kind of a depressing energy, even if you have money in the bank or you had a exit or had a business. Like to me, it's a depressing, kind of tired, slow energy. So I had to kind of push him out of my like, bro, you're like commenting on all my posts and it's just a little too much. Like, I can't, I don't, even if you were a billionaire, but you were retired and kind of like, to me, feels kind of just like, not maybe depressed, but just low energy and like drift. It's a drifting energy. I don't want to be around a drifter, even if you had $1 billion in the bank. I want to be around an active person, making things happen. There's no manifestation. There's nothing. It's just every day is the same, just tired, retired. I can't have that in my life either, dude. Like, you need a goal, you need a reason to do things. You just in this kind of tired, minimal state. I don't want that. I don't want that in my life, man. And he also blocked me out and said, no thanks. I have no interest in making better content or like considering working together. Like, completely just like blocked out any invitation of like us working together or putting our minds together or energy together for something. Then okay, then I left his group. If you're not going to support me, I'm not going to support you, dude. Left his group. He stops commenting on all my posts, but I kind of wanted him to. This is a bit too much, man. Why are you commenting on every single one of my posts? I want you to fucking do something with your life. I don't care how old you are. I want you to do something. You have no momentum. You have no inspiration, excitement. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. Okay, I need more than that. I need to feel it. You know what I mean? Like, I also need to have an amount of activity. For the people that I associate with, I need to see an activity level and a love and excitement for life. If I don't see either of those things, what are you to me? Dead weight, right? Don't be a loser. Don't be a dweeb, man. Fucking do what you need to do. Get it done. And if you can't, then you got to pay me for it, right? Pay me with your time and maybe your money. All right? Much love, guys. Hope you have a great day today.